Oh, man. You know, I don't know when's this debut supposed to start? Oh, hey, you down there. Hey, do you know when the debu's supposed to start? I'm supposed to be showing off this new outfit and hairstyle here, and also full body tracking setup. Do you happen to know? What are you doing down there? What are you doing? You need help, little buddy? Huh? What you doing down here? Hello, everybody! Welcome, Man Satropy. Welcome, Vamp. How y'all doing today? Welcome in. Hope you don't mind the low view, but I figured it was better to show off the model little by little, other than that little sneak peek there. I apologize in advance. There is still a little bit of jank to work out with the mocap tracking, as you can see. Long story short, it's based on my mocap off of where my feet are, so when they're both planted on the ground, it's great. But when I, like, lift one up, start hopping around and moving, it gets a little jank. But yeah, welcome in, everybody. How y'all doing? Y'all doing good? I sure hope so. Oh man, I have been waiting on this for so long. I also realized my mic is clipping, so let me go ahead and fix that. Let me change the limiter here. Yes. Gotta limit my mic a little bit more. I apologize for that. Didn't realize I was peaking. Also, in case you've noticed, I do sound a little bit different. I am using a different microphone so that I can be up and moving around. So a lot of things will get worked out as we go over time, but I figured this is a good way to kind of test everything out and do it for real. I'm the kind of person who likes to do it live, you know? I like to actually get into it and get it done, because I could sit here and do test streams and recordings all I want, but until I get out here, it's never gonna be great. So, don't worry. Any issues that come up during the stream, I will fix over time. Wasn't expecting it to start immediately, to be honest. Do you have any activities planned for today? Nothing in particular. I was kind of just going to sit here. Oh my God, I'm clipping in the tree. Sit in here and kind of enjoy the space. I will be showing off the close-ups of the model bit by bit. But I don't know. I'm not the kind of person to like tease and sit here and go, oh, what's gonna come next? But don't worry, we will be getting some close-ups here in just a second. But yeah, welcome to the weekend stream. I see a couple new names. So for those of you who don't know who I am, and to those of you on the YouTube side, my name is Deeja. I am a 3D character artist, a VTuber, a video editor, and a voice actor for both genders. No AI, no fancy audio editing required. I usually switch between voices between my streams, videos, and my shorts alike. So if you are interested in checking out my other content, you should head over to my YouTube channel or to my Twitch channel. I stream usually Monday to Thursday at 7 p.m. Central, and I usually put up videos on the weekends. I'm just not putting up this weekend because I'm streaming. This is my 2.0 model debut. I've been using this model for about 9 months now, I think. Let me think. I debuted with this in October, so about 9 months at this point. And over the past 4 to 6 months, roughly, depending on how you consider when I started working on a update to the model. New outfit, full body tracking, updated face tracking, better proportions, better physics, everything. And it's been a long time coming. There's a couple of reasons it took so long, but I figure story time can wait a little bit. Y'all probably want the tour of this model, huh? Yeah, you probably want the close-up tour. Well, let's get it to you. Let's get you that close-up. This is not my normal setup. I do have a world here that will be used quite a bit, but let me go ahead and fix my positioning here, because that tends to be a little bit messed up on occasion. So let me go ahead and give you the close-ups here. Yeah, you can see when I bend over, everything kind of merges into the floor. Let me reset my trackers. That should fix my position. Oh God, where did I go? You see what I mean about there being just a little bit of jank? Where did I go? Oh, there I am. There I am. Okay. There's some jank here, but I think we can make do. So let's go ahead and give you the tour here. So, oh, look at these. I kept the grippers out. Don't worry. I kept the grippers out and ready for everybody. I am personally a fan of, you know, sandals and flip-flops and anything that keeps the little toesy woesies out. These are actually, believe it or not, based on sandals that I haven't, or yeah, sandals that I got in real life. The only difference is rather than a string or rope here there is a leather strap that goes between the toes and then kind of wraps around the foot in this way. Let me go ahead and give you a view from the back, the way it straps up like that. Just imagine it with a leather strap instead of the rope and twine, and that's basically what my sandals look like in real life, including the grip here on the bottom. Believe it or not, these are my favorite shoes, if you count them as shoes, because I've actually gone hiking in these things. I know. You're probably sitting here thinking, yeah, you probably shouldn't go hiking in sandals, and you're probably right. But let's be honest, if it's just like a normal trail where all you're doing is walking and walking and you're not having to climb rocks, these are actually great. And I've done quite a bit of hiking in these, so I actually wanted to make them a part of this model. They look so pretty. I know. Oh my God. Here, my chair's over here. My chair is not tracked. It will be one day. But for now, it serves as a good way to rest my foot and give you kind of a close-up of the toesies. Whoa. I also did some update to the foot, or really to all the textures, to kind of help distinguish the form a little bit. So there's mild shading in between the toes to kind of help you see in between them. But like here, let me see if I can get you a close-up of the actual twine, the rope. If you can kind of see, it's actually modeled in. I've got normals on the rope, which help the lighting bounce off of it and make it look like it's actually there, rather than just a straight cylindrical object. But yeah, these things are actually really low poly. But I think it worked out great. And you can start to see my other foot sink into the floor there as I bend over to kind of control the computer a little bit. But yeah, look at how it wraps up the foot. I think it's honestly my favorite part. Don't get me wrong, I did kind of like the sandals from the 1.0 model, and I'll kind of pull that up to kind of show the difference for those of you who haven't seen the whole thing. But my personal opinion, I do like it when it kind of wraps around rather than just, those were more flip-flops than actual sandals, but these are amazing. So, and also, in case you haven't noticed, I don't know how many of you pay attention to the markings, the body markings, but you could probably already see a difference in the style of pattern on my legs here. And we'll get into more of that as we go further up. You're a tree, so melting with wood sounds perfectly normal. Yeah, you know, this is all carved from my body. You know, every plank of wood here, I just chop off an arm every now and then and sand it down until it's flat and smooth. So it's all really a part of me, you know? I guess that's the lore now. That's the lore. It's just all a part of me. Even these stools over here, you know, they're a part of me at one point. I built those from my actual legs. That's where all the legs of the chairs come from. The grass, though, that's not me. Unless you want to count the grass as my, like, hair. Or, like, my bush. Sorry, that's probably, that's a little sus. That's a little sus to say out loud. Oh, man. But yeah, Look at these. I just can't get enough of watching my own feet walk around. I can't get enough of it. It's absolutely insane to see it happen. But I think that's enough of the little feetsies. So let's bring this camera a little higher so I can show off the skirt and the pants. So you've probably already seen the previews over on Twitter. But I don't think I actually gave any proper close-ups here. So let's go ahead and talk about what's going on. This is where, believe it or not, the sandals came first on the model. Those are what I modeled in and textured first. That was the easy part. Everything above this was where the challenge came in. I didn't know what to do. And I went through a couple different revisions. I had like detailed pants going all the way down, kind of like what I did on the 1.0. I had like lace and all kinds of different patterns underneath, but it got way too complicated and what I call busy on the eyes. It was just way too much to look at. And anytime I see a VTuber who has a quote unquote visually busy model, I always get like turned off because I'm like, no, it's too much. I don't know where to look. It's just so much going on visually. It's a little distracting and it hurts my eyes. Live 2D modelers and artists, I think, have a problem with that. I think simpler is better because then you can fine tune the details on a simple design. So I scrapped all the pants and I instead went with like a fungal growth. That's just like a single fading color from the bottom up. And it's super simple, hardly even noticeable, but they basically work like spats, which means I could wear whatever I wanted over it, which is how the skirt came into being. And since we're on the skirt, how many of y'all have noticed the reflectiveness of the gold trim when it flaps around like this and it hits the light? Y'all seeing that? Y'all seeing the reflectiveness of all the little gold trim and the patterns? I really love that. So that is a free matte cap that I actually found. It took a while to find what I thought was the right one. But these things are incredible. They add so much detail for so little, honestly. It doesn't really take anything away in performance. But it's absolutely incredible. But yeah, I like the way, let me back up a little bit so you can kind of see. But the way I put the slits here for the legs, for it to like close in, so that when I lift up, they kind of fold around it. I thought that was genius. You have no idea how many like rich clothing stores I went to, beyond my price range, by the way, and kind of looked at their stock just to get some ideas. And eventually I found a dress that it was a full body dress, but it had this leg slit pattern on both the front and the back. And I was like, that's classy, while also being a little cute and kind of genius, because that means the breeze flows right through. And I'm in Texas, so that means, you know, you're not gonna sweat in some dangerous areas. Of course, they did recommend, hey, you should probably wear spats or something underneath it, just in case. You probably shouldn't wear normal underwear. Welcome in, Loot Wings! First time chatter, congrats on the new model. Thank you so much. Thank you. Welcome to the stream. Since you're new here, allow me to go ahead and introduce myself properly. My name is Deeja. I am a 3D character artist, a VTuber, a video editor, and a voice actor for both genders. No AI, no fancy audio editing required. I usually switch between voices between my streams, videos, and my shorts alike. So if you're interested in hearing my other voice, seeing my other content, you should check out my YouTube channel. I got a fully functional channel over there with all my VODs, all my shorts, and fully edited videos exclusive to YouTube. They are not pre-recorded, they're not reused live streams, none of that. So, thank you for stopping by. It looks really nice. Thank you. Look, the gold trim is my own touch though, but the actual dress slit design for the skirt, that is not my idea. That is something I 100% took from this bougie bougie ass freaking outfit store. Let me go ahead and reset myself here. Because every time I hunch over, I lose my positioning. But yeah, the gold trim though, the entire thought process behind it was, I kind of wanted to go with like a thorny rose pattern, and that's kind of what I started with. The hairstyle was going to be very different than how it is now, which I guess I'll go ahead and talk about it. It was originally going to be a bouquet. So this was going to be a summer kind of romancy outfit, and so a lot of things are going to be rose themed here. And so I thought, well, you know, rose bushes have thorns, so why don't I do a thorny trim around the whole thing? And while I don't think it takes away from the current pattern and design, I do think it was an excellent addition to do the whole way around, because it's simple, it's not too visually busy, and it gets your attention. So, and once again, you can kind of see the leg patterns, the carvings going up the leg a little bit. So let's go ahead and move you up, and let's start to get into the rest of me. So here's the whole skirt, the whole thing, nothing held back. You can see the rose pattern right there. And also my upgraded dumpy. Hang on, can I twerk? Oh, wait, let me. Oh, damn. Okay, that that worked a little bit better than I thought it would. My bad, Twitch, my bad, YouTube. I did not think that was gonna track that well. I've done a lot with this full body tracking stuff to kind of test its accuracy, and there's still some jank to work out, especially with the hips. So I was like, there's no way it's gonna track my twerking that well, right? Nice to meet you. Hope everyone's is having or has had a great day. I hope so too. This is I feel a good weekend. We're past July 4th. For those of us who are Americans, it's been a little crazy this weekend with a lot of drama, and then of course, just trying to enjoy the celebrations. But now that that's over, I feel like we can get back to a relaxed normal. It is summertime. I did go to the beach this past week, and that was down in South Texas. That was very comfortable. I enjoyed the trip. I had a great time. So I recommend all of you take some time for yourselves as well. It's summer. It's summer. We need to enjoy the beach, vacation time. We need to go hiking. We need to enjoy the outdoors. I'm not going to make you touch grass. Trust me, I know who my audience is. I'm not going to make y'all touch grass. But yeah, look at this. Look at this. Ah. Again, that rose decal and the little thorns, if you can kind of see them. Let me put the center frame for you. That is the thorny stem. I tried to stylize it as much as I can. It went through a couple revisions before I settled on that. But yeah, the physics though. I want to talk about the physics. So I've had a couple people both comment and DM on the posts and the trailer and be like, why is there no clipping? Well, first, there is, but it's when the tracking gets a little jank. Like you can see here, I'll jerk my hips real fast. And you can kind of see the spats, the dark spots kind of clip through. When I get really fast, see? So it's not perfect. It takes a little while for it to calculate the physics. But when I'm just standing here and I'm kind of wiggling around and being normal, the reason there's no clipping is because this is a cloth simulation. That's right. This is what's called Magica cloth. So there is a, I guess you could call it a plugin. It's an asset for Unity that has 3 settings. It can have normal spring bones like you'd have in any other, VR model or Vtuber model. But it also has a cloth simulation, which is what we got going on here. The idea is you essentially build a mesh that's usually a little simpler than the actual mesh. And there's gonna be little collider balls and thousands of little bones going across this thing. which is how it's able to fold around my leg like that. And also how I get such floppiness out of the front and back flaps here. So, and of course I got colliders on my hands, which you can now kind of see a little bit. Yeah, I'm gonna get you, I'm gonna tickle you. But I can't, because I got colliders on my hands, I can flap the skirt. And I can also get it real jank. You know what? I'm gonna do that twerk again. I gotta actually look and see how. Where's my positioning? Oh my god, I keep ruining my position. Okay, yeah, that's a little too accurate. I gotta be careful then. If that's how accurate it's always gonna be, we're in some dangerous territory, you know. I gotta be careful what dance moves I do. Also, I apologize. I'm gonna keep resetting my model's position just because, like I said, there's some jank. There's some jank, especially with mocap mode. It'll be less obvious when I'm in my normal just chatting setup, which we'll get into here in a bit. But we got more model. We got more models. So let's go up to the chest. And you're gonna see a little bit of my face here, so please excuse me, because you're getting a sneak peek preview. This is kind of the danger of doing your whole operation yourself, is you kind of just have to roll with it a little bit. Okay, so let's talk about the chest. We got the puffy collar, which I've always wanted a model and an outfit with a puffy collar. I've never been terribly good at it, so it took a couple tries to get it right. And then, of course, you got the rose decals again. And you can't forget the bells that jingle, jangle, jingle, jingle, jangle. So, again, with that thorny rose trim around the shoulders here, there was a little bit of a difference between this version and the version I started with. I had this big rose decal in a heart shape back here where the thorns kind of formed a heart, and then the rose was in the center. But the more I looked at it, the more I was like, this is getting real close to like biker jacket territory, so I should probably remove that. And sure enough, I removed that. It became less thorny, and I started looking less like a biker. But really, every time I look at this, I think it's really only a few steps from becoming a biker jacket. But let's talk about the sleeves. As you can see, there is some depth here, and they do have physics on them. I wanted to apply the Magica cloth physics to these as well. However, because of the way the mesh is built, it's basically several different sections going up, and they're all separated from each other. So the moment I turned on the cloth simulation, it literally just fell off my arm. So I can't do that. And the spring bones do work though. But I think at some point I may come back and I may remodel it to function the way I actually want. Because I feel like this is kind of a cop-out from what I had initially designed in my head, you know? But since we're on the chest, let's go ahead and talk about the hand tracking. Yes. My sleeves are the favorite part. I love the color. I know this. Look, the sleeves are ultimately what made me decide I'm going to go with a fall design, because I got the kind of maple and oak leaves here, and all the red and orange and brown. And I was like, you know what? This is what I'm going to go with. This is going to determine the entire design going forward. And actually, I just noticed there is some clipping here at the bicep that I didn't notice until just now. I thought I fixed that. I could have sworn I fixed that. Although it may be some weird thing with shoulder rotation. Well, yeah, I think it's shoulder rotation tracking that's making it a little weird. But yeah, the sleeves are honestly what made me decide this is going to be a fall-themed design and outfit here. But you can see the number of leaves and detail is actually a little deceiving, because if I stop moving and I kind of just hold it, you can actually see the layering that I've done here. It is surprisingly low poly. It really is. It's very deceiving, especially when it's farther away and it's in motion. Like when I'm back here and I'm moving around, you don't really notice. Hang on, I gotta reset my position again because I've drifted. I keep drifting. But let's talk about the hands. I'm sure y'all are excited about the hands like me, right? You probably are. So let's go ahead and talk about them. Again, looking at these patterns across. I went with a little bit more stylized, less fantasy, more kind of modern, a little bit techno pattern here, with the wrapping around in a spiral ending in the circle. And then of course, all the knuckles gotta ring themselves. Gotta let people know who hit them, you know? Whenever the cops find one of my victims and they're like, who does this knuckle pattern belong to? Look at this bruising. We're gonna have to take people's fists and figure out who it was. Yeah, they're immediately gonna know. They're gonna know. But look, all jokes aside, look at the detail. The fingernails, the fingers, the hands. You can even see the hands on, I did some, this is my first time doing corrective blend shapes, but the way the back of my hand kind of flexes a little bit when I close into a fist. Are the patterns not supposed to be tree markings? Not really. So these are more stylized, like actual carvings. Not necessarily like the tree patterns, like what you see behind me on bark. These are more stylized carvings. And the idea is, because I made them myself, it's just a texture. And so I can change them whenever I want. You can kind of see there's some new ones on my face too that we'll talk about. But no, they're more stylized markings, almost like they're carved in, kind of like tree tattoos in a way. So that's kind of the idea. But you can also see, before I forget, the hand tracking is completely mobile. It is no longer webcam based. These are gloves. These are not the best hand tracking gloves in the world, I will go ahead and admit. The gloves are StretchSense Reality XR game. Now I know that's a mouthful, but you've probably heard of StretchSense before. They do make mocap gloves, but they've discontinued some of their other models. These are their newest, and these are kind of the step in between for VR gloves and mocap gloves. These are made to be a direct competitor to Diver X and to UDCap. And my experience with them has actually been pretty great. My one complaint is that they're still being worked on, but that's also why I bought them. So Diver X and UDCap, a lot of the updates are pretty much done. The development's mostly done. Welcome in, Bloody Lover Boy. Welcome in. Happy Saturday and happy debut day for the new outfits. Yes, you can see all the glorious beauty here. But the reason I got them is because they're still working on them and they're improving them every day. So they come with an IMU tracker on the back of the hand. And my initial thought was, oh, well, I can use that in Slime VR so I don't have to put a tracker on my hand. I was wrong. They are working on that, but it's not ready yet. So right now I do have a Slime VR tracker strapped around in an X pattern on my hand, in addition to the glove. But these things are pretty accurate. They have finger splay. So let me see if I can get my hand in front of the camera. You can see my fingers separating, and it's all individual splay as well. So not just, and by the way, the difference is finger curl is just curling in and out. Finger splay is when they go together and split apart. I don't know if y'all can see that. But yeah. Oh, I'm kind of clipping into the camera there. So rather than moving my model back, now all of a sudden it's going too far forward. It looks amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Mwah. Oh, and by the way, I know Pride Month is over, but now that we got full body tracking, you're not immune. Come here. Gotta kiss your homies. So, with that being said, kissing the homies, let's go ahead and talk about the face. So let's bring this up to face level. Hello! Face tracking on the go. That's right. For those of you who have not seen the YouTube video, I have a homemade DIY version of the Rococo head rig. That's right. It's DIY, made it myself. It's basically a welding mask strap with a, you know, one of those neck phone mounts, those gooseneck things that you put around your neck and then you point it up and it puts your phone like on your chest. I have that wrapped around the welding mask strap and then it sits right here. The phone's actually right about here, right about this distance. And of course I got a battery pack on my chest that is keeping it fully charged and powering the cooling fan on it as well. You kiss your homies. You gotta kiss your homies. Look, here's the thing. I heard this. I don't remember which VTuber I heard it from. I heard it on a YouTube short. But they said, and I totally agree with this. Look, what if you're on a date? You know, you don't want to be remembered on your first date as a bad kisser, so you gotta practice on your homies. Your homies won't judge you for it. They'll help you get better. So, you gotta practice on your homies. You absolutely have to. Excuse me for a minute. I'm gonna drink some water over here. Give me one moment. But yeah, you absolutely have to practice on your homies. If you're not, you're never gonna improve. You gotta trust your homies. They'll help you. Just like me. Let me drink some more. All right. So let's go ahead and talk about the improvements to the face tracking. I have improved the face shape a little because now you're no longer just seeing the front. You're seeing it from all sides. So you can kind of see that the face shape is a little more rounded, which means it's more appealing at just about every angle, including kind of these back angles where it's a little more extreme and these kind of angles, or when I'm looking straight up. So it's a little more visually appealing. But let me go ahead and my tracking. One of these days I will get it to lock my position in a certain place. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to set a spare tracker on the floor and have it track my position relative to that. I gotta figure out how to set that up though. By the way, stop talking to the person. A lot of shit happened. Aww. Well, I'm both sad to hear that and happy to hear it. I hope the stress level in your life goes down, but I understand that stuff's hard. I understand. But hey, things only go up. Things only go up. Bad things come in threes. And if you don't know what the third thing or the second thing is, it's probably better that way. But the worst thing is always last, and that's usually what you notice. So don't worry about it. Things can only go up from here. Don't worry. Things get better. But the face tracking has actually gotten improved. So over the past 9 months with my own model, I've actually learned a bit about how my own face moves and how to better track my own blend shapes, especially with my phone being closer. So it smiles a lot less naturally so that you can actually see my own smile a bit more distinctly because I kind of have resting bitch face. I really do. So I figured, let's not have my model always smiling. Let's make the smile a little bit more obvious. And then of course, I changed the face markings. So I removed the spiral cheeks. And now we got kind of this eyeliner going on up here. That's a bit more distinct around the eyes. And then of course, the gothic kind of tear streaks going on down to the cheeks. Oh, but before I forget, the best part. The teeth. Yeah. And of course, the tongue. gotta have the tongue out. So the tongue did exist on the other model and I could stick it out, but it was only like a little bit. Now I can stick it way out. But of course, got the fangs. Yes, it's super penny. I know, thank you. Oh, and you can get a close-up of my eyes. They haven't really changed at all, except, you know, my eye tracking did change a little bit. So I've changed my eye wide and the way my eyebrows work and the way my squint works. That's about all that's changed for the eyes. So as you can see, my eye directions haven't changed a whole lot. But if I widen them, you know, you can see it kind of shrinks in. Yeah. I made it a little bit more cartoony. Oh, and then the leaves on my eyebrows, as you can see, have some improvements. They're not just solid circles anymore. They've actually got some transparency to them. So that's pretty neat. I need teeth like that so I can bite you. No, I bite back. I'll bite you back. But yeah. And by the way, consider the eyebrows your sneak peek preview of the hair here. So let's go ahead and talk about it. You see this hair? It is got physics on it. It's just very light, as you can kind of see. They're fairly not moving around too much. I didn't want them moving around up top too much just because I'd have clipping issues. But let's go ahead and spin me right round, baby, right round. How you like it? Look at this. So ultimately I went through, this is what took so long with the modeling process. I went through probably, I wanna say like 7 different versions of the hairstyle before finally settling on this. I'm trying to position myself in the middle of the screen here. It's a little tough. But I think the ultimate kicker was I was trying to copy a hairstyle that really only works with hair. And that was tough. For reference, I was trying to make, speaking of inspiration for their hairstyle, I was trying to make Rumi's hairstyle from K-pop Demon Hunters. K-pop Demon Hunters. I really love her hairstyle. And I was trying very desperately to replicate it. But it is the kind of thing that really only works with hair. I tried replicating it with plants. You can even probably find a VOD where I was streaming and I had been working on a vine texture that I was planning to use to kind of replicate her hairstyle. But ultimately, the conclusion I came to was it was either too complex and just didn't make sense visually, or it was just way too flat, and I would have had to do something very high poly, which I don't know. Also, hang on, I forgot. This is my bad. I forgot to start a discount for subs. I apologize. So I see we got an ad break coming. If you do not want to watch and you're not already subbed, there's a discount for you, so you don't have to watch the ads. Oh, I could see that. My first thought was 80s hair, actually. That was also another set of references. I was looking at the 80s hippie hairstyles. That's what I was looking at, to be honest. That was a huge inspiration for also the fact that I got a crop top jacket with a flowing, elegant skirt and some spats underneath, with the midriff exposed. That's something that came out in the 80s from hippie fashion. So I figured that's something I should implement here because I'm a plant. You know, why wouldn't I be kind of hippie? You know? We don't really see stuff like that anymore. There was a lot of creative quote unquote, homegrown, homemade fashion, you know, with everybody trying to sew their own clothes together, you know, their own outfits, a lot of stitching, a lot of crochet, kind of make and do with what they had to break away from society. You did it very well. Thank you. Hang on, I got to drink more because I am, I am thirsty. I am nervous. I'm so thirsty. I am Batman. I am so nervous. I have been waiting on this forever. But yeah, let me give you the flow here of the hairstyle. And you can kind of see what I mean. I'm clipping into my hammock. When I say it's kind of a little bit of an undercut with the strands back here. And then of course the leaves are, imagine if you will, Rumi's hairstyle, how it like braids up. That's what the leaves are. This is as close as I could get. This is as close as I could get to her hairstyle, while still keeping to my form. I really set a challenge for myself when I decided everything about this model is gonna be a plant. Everything. Like no hair. I could have honestly done the VTuber cheating route where it's like, yeah, I know I'm a dragon and technically lizards and other reptiles don't have hair, but I'm gonna have hair. I didn't do that. I said, no, everything's gonna be a plant. I really created an extra challenge for myself. I really have no one to blame but me. So, let's go ahead and show you, now that you've kind of seen the model and the close-ups of everything, let me show you what the usual setup is gonna look like here. So let me go ahead and turn off the test world, go back to the real one, and let me do one last reset for my position here. And now, if you will please, your applause. This is what we're going to be working with for the vast majority of Just Chatting streams for the near future. So like I said, you're not gonna get a full view of the model all the time, every day, but you will get this follow cam so that you will always have me in sight, no matter what. I'm also realizing for the first time when I do this extreme turn, my chin kind of clips through the collar. I probably should have set a collider there, but it's fine. It's fine. I can't imagine I'm gonna be doing that too much, you know? This is incredible. Also, the background, if you haven't noticed, is new. The previous background was not 3D, but I got a 3D artist to help me put everything together to have as close to my original background as possible, while still being performance easy and, you know, kind of low poly. I didn't need this like huge in-depth thing for my first 3D environment until I know what I can handle. And I found the perfect artist who actually makes video games, believe it or not. So if you're ever wondering how they got those skills for environment modeling, that's how. Which, by the way, I am a character artist. I can do 3D modeling for environments. I've done it for like 3D printing. So I could print like 3D D&D dungeon tiles and stuff. But I've never done environment modeling for games or VR chat or VTubing. And so that's kind of a weak spot for me. So it's a good thing that I found, we'll get to the credits thing later, but it's Chair. I think it's Chair or Share. But I'll show them on the credits PNG here in a minute. But yeah, incredible stuff, by the way. And I wish I could show you the whole thing, but I kind of want to just kind of enjoy the space. And I probably should have done that already, but now I'm in the follow cam and it's hard to turn off. So might do it another time. But it absolutely incredible work. I didn't think anybody was going to be able to recreate this space almost one-to-one as it originally was. So this has been incredible stuff. So let's go ahead and talk about the interactive features that I have added to the stream. If you will go ahead and gander your eyes down into the corner above the chat box and check out the channel points, you'll notice that I added some new channel point redeems. Which also, by the way, now that I got full body tracking, you can kind of see how sassy I tend to do, how sassy I tend to stand when I'm just idle. Please excuse the sassiness. It's just how I am. But if you gander your eyes down to the channel point redeems, you'll see quite a number of new redeems. Let's go ahead and start with the basic ones. You've got the classic throwing items at me, but now you can also throw cheese, which will actually stick to me and gives a little bit of physics. It's pretty funny. And of course, then you've got some sticky notes. So if you want to have a message directly slapped onto my body for like a solid 30 seconds, you can 100% do that. And I mean, you can put some pretty funny stuff on there. However, I will warn you, it is limited to about, I think 20 something characters, just because of the font size on the sticky note. So you could put a longer message in if you want, it just won't show the whole thing. But they do stick onto my face and my chest. So it is randomized what they appear, which sticky note they appear on. But yeah, it's I think easily abusable, and I think really good for some funny clippable moments. And then, of course, let's go ahead and talk about the most egregious one, which I'm sure those of you who have been saving up your channel points could probably spend on right now. Actually, we got an ad break, so I'll wait until I announce that, because I know a lot of people's subs expired. Drink some more water. Drink some more water. Oh, and by the way, you can kind of see the environment lighting here as I dip into the shadows and then back into the lights. That is a nice touch, I think. I think Cher did a good job there. Because I do have an environment light up in the ceiling and there's a hole in it. And so when I step out of that, the environment casts a shadow, which is a really nice touch. It's a really nice touch. Okay, welcome back from the ads, everybody. Let's go ahead and talk about another interactive feature. If you gander your eyes down into the channel points, you will see the most dangerous of them. You can light me on fire. If you're not a fan of Smokey the Bear and you think that this forest should burn, you can light me on fire. I wouldn't recommend it because it does hurt. In theory, and not in real life, but it will hurt my spirit. You know, it'll make me feel bad. You wouldn't do that to me, right? Right? But no, you can absolutely light me on fire if you so choose. And there's no limits to these, by the way. I think I may have set user limits, but it's like really high. It's like 20 something. But I'm trying to keep the channel points low so that y'all can use them as much as you please. But if you want them to be lower, less expensive, let me know and we can absolutely do that. Or if they get abused too much, you know, I can raise them higher, but I kind of doubt that y'all are gonna abuse it that much. You don't want to set me on fire that bad, right? You better not. Let's see what else we got here. So, I'm looking at my own channel points to kind of see my refresh my memory. We of course kept the head pat, so you can still do that. And of course I lowered the cost of a lot of the Tangia redeems. So I know that was a big thing. They were kind of expensive. So I lowered them because they were kind of at their default, and I set them to be the Twitch's auto pricing thing, but yeah, nobody was really using them, so I went ahead and decreased it. But then there is also a TTS of my voice. So if you want to shout something at me in my own voice and freak me the hell out, because I listen to it, it is unsettling to hear my own voice in my own ears talking to me through a TTS. So if you want to do that and freak me out, you should absolutely use that redeem. But there is one more. There is one more interactive feature that I think needs to be talked about here. If you would gander over to the only white channel point redeem, it is the only one that is white on the screen, you will see something that says Open Booster Pack. Now, if you were to go ahead and click that, actually, I will go ahead and click it just to demonstrate here. For the low cost of 300 channel points, you can open up a booster pack and get yourself some virtual trading cards. No cost, no money made from these. But there are various different rarities, kind of like a real trading card gacha system. So I have gathered 3 artists, and I have asked them to make some trading cards for us here. And you can now collect them. So the widget tracks your name, it tracks your username, and tracks your collection. So that way you always know what you're getting. There was a battle system that I was going to turn on, but I still got some working out to do on that because there was a bug that I was encountering with the battle system. But the idea is you can collect your cards and then battle other people and chat with them, which is why we got numbers up in the top left. But there are 3 cards from 3 different artists in various different rarities. Can you see your own collection? That's the idea. I'm trying to figure out how to actually show it. There's supposed to be a redeem or a command that you can use to show your own collection and kind of show it off. But for whatever reason, it's not working. So I gotta figure out how to do that. But I'm hoping to get it figured out tonight or tomorrow so that when we stream again Monday, it will be fully operational. But you can go ahead and spend your channel points and collect these cards. Again, 3 artists, 3 cards, all of different rarities. So each artist gave me a version that is 1 star, 2 star, and 3 star. The art on the card gets more complicated and more beautiful, more effects, the higher you get. So I highly recommend trying to get those high ranking cards because they are beautiful. And all of them, of course, are very different styles. So I really do love it. I love it. But yeah, that is probably the most impressive, in my opinion, interactive feature on the channel. And what I originally wanted to do, and I may try to do this at some point one day, is I'm drifting back, so let me reset again. I think I just saw myself clip into the back here. There we go. What I wanted to do is, and I've been looking into it, I've been talking to various different programmers and creators who work on widgets and extensions, and I was like, how difficult would it be to create a system like this that works between everybody's streams? And apparently it's pretty tough, because you have to be able to host those images. You have to host the whole back end. So not just the images and the storage and everything, but you also have to host the code, and the bot associated with it. It's quite a bit. So it's not even a matter of just funding it. It's finding a way to host it, and then also finding somebody who's willing to go through the work to put that together. And there's not a whole lot of people who are taking commissions for this kind of stuff. You know, freelance programmers who would actually be willing to take on that kind of project. So as much as I wanted to do that, it might take some time. It might take some time to actually get that going. But that was what I originally wanted to do. I wanted to have something running through either an extension or through StreamerBot to pull some of these things. Can I ask quickly what happened to your heart emoji? I replaced it with the kiss emoji. I want to bring it back, but I'm thinking, hope it'll be possible one day. Yes, me too. I kind of want to show the new emotes before I kind of lock everything behind, because I only have so many emote slots. But yeah, I replaced the heart with the kiss just because I like it. I think it's a bit more dynamic. I can bring it back if you want. I can absolutely bring back the heart emoji. Let me see. Let me see if I can turn it on right now. Yeah, oddly enough, I still have more slots for animated emotes, and I've got my bits emotes. But I kind of want more just normal emote slots. But I think the only way I get more really is by going to Twitch Partner. I think that's the only way I get more. I did prefer the heart over the others personally, but I could try to use the others more now. Yeah, go ahead and use the others a little bit. Yeah. I think, I don't know, I do like my starter emotes. I do like my starter emotes. I got them in a pack. But I'm hoping to expand and kind of get some more dynamic emote expressions as we go. Oh, which by the way, I know it's not very impressive to a lot of you, but to me it is. For the longest time, I couldn't really put my hands in front of my face because if I did, I would be blocking my face tracking. But now since my phone is literally attached to my head, I can sit here and hide myself and, oh God, I can cover up. I can hide from you. And I think that's a nice touch. Although I don't know what's happening right now. Why am I dancing around? I don't know why I'm jerking around all of a sudden. I don't know why this is all happening. This one's cute. Looks like eggs. Yeah, I did like that one. It's based on the meme, the Pepe Frog meme, where they're like laying on the ground and spilled their food, and somebody's towering over them. That's what it's based on, and I really love it. I really love the egg yolk crying. Yeah, I don't know what's happening. Something's happening with my trackers. Let me reset, see if that helps. Not really. Let me... Yeah, something's happening with slime. I don't know what's going on. I think it may be my Wi-Fi, because that's how they connect. This is the first time this has happened. I did test streams, or I did test recordings. So I know it's not my internet as a whole. It's not my computer. I think it's literally just my Wi-Fi. Either that or it's Slime VR as a software. So let me... This is gonna get a little jank, everybody. I apologize. I'm restarting Slime VR. I did warn y'all. I did warn y'all there would be some jank here. Oh no, I'm stuck. I'm trapped. Help. Help. What do I do? What do I do? I can't move. Help. Oh no. Give me a second. All my trackers are reconnecting to slime here, and I'll do a calibration. Everyone, please ignore my ongoing exorcism. I promise. It's not going to be a recurring thing. Although I'm still like bouncing around and jerking around. So it's got to be the Wi-Fi. It's got to be the Wi-Fi that they're connecting to. Something's going on with it. Because my hands are fine. You can see there's no lag in the hands, but the trackers themselves connect to my router and then to my PC. So there's something going on there. I'm touching grass. I'm touching grass all the time. Look. Oh. Here, I'll tell you what. Since my trackers are going crazy, why don't we just kind of sit here and enjoy each other's company in the grass. Let me scooch you a little bit closer to the computer so I can actually see it. Yeah, I don't know why my trackers are like bouncing around like that. That's crazy. Yeah, I'm the only VTuber you're ever gonna see actually touching grass. I know, right? It's absolutely crazy. I'm adjusting my head strap here. It's starting to slip a little bit with how I've been moving around. This has been absolutely crazy. So, while I'm sitting here, let's go ahead and do these, let's go ahead and talk about, credits. Because what kind of VTuber would I be if I did this by myself, right? I cannot do anything by myself. So I've had a lot of people to help me out, and I want to make sure they are properly recognized. It's already been an hour. Time flies. Has it? Oh my God, it has. It really has. Time really does fly. Whew. So let's go ahead and talk about these credits. As you can see, I didn't do a lot of this myself. I have limitations, and these people really helped me accomplish all this, because I could sit here and make a model, but making the stream my own and making it feel like it's mine, that's something they helped me do. So let's go ahead and talk about them. The 3D Environment by Share. You can find them both on Twitter, which is that handle, or you could search them up on VGen. They are a 3D artist who right now is actually working on Brazilian Drug Dealer 4, which I know is a mouthful, but to my understanding, the game series is kind of like a movement shooter. I actually learned about Brazilian Drug Dealer 3 from the recommended page on Steam when I was looking at Ultra Kill, because it pops up as a similar game. And I highly recommend checking it out. It's actually really funny. But there's a lot of love and charm that goes into those games, so you should 100% check them out over on VGen Twitter, or just check out Brazilian Drug Dealer 4 when it comes out. New emotes. So all the new emotes are done by, Nisa Rin. Nisa Rin Art is their Twitter handle. You can find their work there. They do more than just emotes, but that is what I commissioned them for. And my God, they are beautiful. If you're not looking at them, they are amazing. They add so much charm to the channel. And they incorporated a lot of the new design elements for this outfit and the model itself. Alerts. So we got some new alerts on the channel. God, why is my tracking like this? I'm not turning off the Wi-Fi. If I turn off the Wi-Fi, everything comes to an end. The stream stops. So I can't do that. All I can do is try to move as minimally as possible so I don't jerk around. But alerts will be playing as we go, and as people follow, subscribe, and everything like that, alerts will be playing down in this corner. And I also have a new raid alert that is very personalized and I think very beautiful. There's a lot of charm in those animations. I have a lot of respect for people who can animate in 2D with their own art style. It's a lot of work to animate by hand like that, and I have a lot of respect for people who can. So amazing work from Kumiko-san, Kumauka-san. I hope I'm saying that right. I'm realizing right now I've never actually said these people's names out loud. I've always just read it in my head. So I apologize if I'm butchering your name. But let's talk about the trading cards. So, as I said, I got 3 artists. The first is Xrez. Xrez gave me some absolutely incredible art. They took the idea when I said I'm doing the 3-star rarity system, kind of like a gacha, and they took that in stride. And as you can see from their 3-star art, if it ever comes up, which I'll also show them on Twitter, they put like this glowing rainbow foil effect on it, and it's just absolutely incredible. The next one, Himitsutoki. They helped me make the Gentle Fall Breeze one, which is probably the most dynamic pose of the 3. And that one should come up. Let me see. Let me redeem it again and see if I can get their cards specifically to come up. Let's see. Oh, there it is. Gentle Fall Breeze. So you can see it's the most dynamic pose of the 3. But absolutely incredible styling and color choices there. I'm actually genuinely impressed. And then finally, we got Golden Hour from Buff Oriana. Can we keep the trend going? Can we actually redeem Buff Oriana's card? Is that something we can do? That's X-Res right there. That is their 1-star card. Come on, baby. Come on, I'm playing gacha on my own stream. Come on, give me Buff Orianas. Give me Buff Orianas. Give it to me. Give it to me. I'm playing gacha on my own stream here. No. Come on. I'm the master of this casino. I'm the master here. No. It's giving me the same cards. Come on. Give it to me. Oh my God. Look, guys, there's a reason I don't gamble. As a streamer, don't you have infinite channel points? Yes, I do. I do, but it's just funny that I've spent it this many times and I can't get Buff Oriana's. Okay, there's Golden Hour. There's Buff Oriana's card. My God, the most painterly style of the three and incredibly unique. I cannot tell you if you didn't get a chance to look at the sneak peek. Don't worry, it'll show up on Twitter with the full card art. How mature and feminine and romantic I look in that photo. It is absolutely incredible. The definition on my lips alone makes me feel incredibly mature there. So incredible work. Incredible work. Hang on, I gotta adjust my headband. It's starting to slip. So absolutely incredible work there from all three artists. And over the course of the next couple days, I'll be making Twitter posts with all their full card art and the links. So if you ever forget who made what, it'll be there. And then finally, we got the trailer from Seer Whale. Seer Whale helped make both the silhouette version of the trailer and also the full model reveal that came out yesterday. So if you got a sneak peek at that. Could not have done that without them. Don't get me wrong, I am a video editor. I could do some types of editing, but I'm sitting here looking at other people's VTuber trailers and I'm like, that's a lot of graphics artwork, and I'm not really experienced in graphic art and graphic animation. So that's probably best I hand off to somebody who's an actual expert. And my God, they did incredible work. So you should 100% check out their VGen or their Twitter, or both. Both is good. Both is good. But let's go ahead and stand my ass up. So let me hide this real quick. I'm gonna stand my ass up. I know I am glitching out here. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. Stand my ass up and accept things as they are. Let me see. Thanks to all of them. They did a great job. I know, they did amazing. They did amazing work here. I am incredibly impressed with the final products. Let me go ahead. I don't know why. Of course, the moment I try to stream this, like, everything gets a little jank. Everything gets a little jank. Yeah, I think what was happening is the camera was also drifting down. So now we're in its original position. Okay. So now that I've streamed, now is when the jank shows up. Of course. Can't have a VTuber stream without jank. I mean, look at what's happening with my hands. They're just all over the place. So that's really the Slime VR. Maybe I should connect them directly to my computer, like do a Wi-Fi hotspot out of my computer rather than the router, because that seems to be the problem. So, yeah, I don't know what's happening there. Just realized the jacket's rose patterns look like a cute face. Do they? Oh, I see what you mean. Kind of like where the rose is, and then the straps are kind of like a smiley. I can kind of see that. Yeah. That is cute. I didn't notice that. Yeah. I like that. I'm going to say that was intended all along. I'm gonna say that was always intended. I got some wireless earbuds in so I can hear at least some of my music while it's playing. Yeah, we're gonna pretend like that was always intended. I don't know why the jank is happening very suddenly. Yeah, slight movements are overly exaggerated, and then Slime tries to correct it here. So let's go ahead and talk about, since I'm talking about tech and the jank going on here, let's go ahead and talk about everything in this setup for those of you who are interested in that kind of stuff. So I have 15 Slime VR trackers. These are the primary way that I am tracking my body. The only ones I don't have on me are shoulder trackers, a neck tracker, and a waist tracker. The reason for that is I did not see, I did put trackers on in those places. I did not see ultimately a huge amount of improvement, and I'm not putting anything around my neck. I'm not putting anything around my neck. I don't like anything constricting me there. It makes me uncomfortable, so I will never put anything there. And it's also difficult to maintain its position because it either wants to slide up or down. So I said, I think I'm better off without. But all the trackers here are Slime VR trackers. They're connecting to my router, which is then connecting to my PC. I think I'm just going to connect them straight to the PC. This is the first time this issue has happened. It may be because I'm streaming. I'm not sure. But either way, it's a problem. So I'm going to ensure that this nonsense here, where it's only tracking me like one frame every couple of seconds, it's emailing me my animations here, frame by frame. I think it'll be better if I just connect direct to the PC. Because the gloves connect direct to the PC, and you can see the finger tracking is not lagging, but the positional tracking for everything from Slime is a little bit lagging behind, and it's trying to overcorrect here. So that's probably the weakest link in this tracking system. But it's 15 trackers. I got it on my feet, ankles, thighs, my hips, my chest tracker, which also has my battery pack slapped onto it. And then I got lower arm trackers on my elbows, wrist trackers, hand trackers, and then of course the gloves. The gloves, as I said before, are Stretch Sense Reality XR Game, which is a mouthful, but they're Stretch Sense XR gloves. They're still working on them. They're still improving every single day. So that's kind of why I paid for them. I think right now they're probably about on par with Diver X and UdiCap, but in the future, I think they will surpass them. At least, yeah, I think they will. In VR, which I've already tested them in VR, they work as replacement controllers for Valve Index. So I can do hand gestures and control buttons that way. And then also, of course, the gesture controls just mimic Index in VR. So it's actually a pretty creative glove. I like it a lot. And best part, they're machine washable. They're washable. So I could just take the important bits off, throw it in the wash, and I'm good to go. Don't have to worry too much about it. It's incredibly useful. So let's go ahead and talk about the face. So I got my iPhone 13 for face tracking. I did have an iPhone 10 when it was on my desk a while back, but that thing burnt out from years of use and abuse. So now I have an iPhone 13. It does have different ways of tracking the AR kit, but nothing I think too crazy or too different from normal. It does function better closer to the face though. The iPhone 10, if I got too close to the face, it just fell apart. It would stop tracking me. This one though, I can get it really close because it's got a wider camera and just a better camera. I've got a little light here on my head rig tracking me, which the DIY head rig, of course. Oh, and I've got a slime tracker up here on top of my head. That's how I'm tracking my head position. And then of course the microphone. So the microphone on my desk is a Fifine, what's it called? An AM8. It's a really it's probably the most affordable streamer microphone that I could find for the quality anyway. It's like $50, I think, 50, 60 bucks. The microphone here on my head rig is a DJI Mic Mini. It is a wireless lavalier microphone that normally clips onto things. And I did have it clipped onto my chest for a while, but it sounded a little muffled. And I realized, oh, it also has a magnet. Let me see if there's something I can magnetize to. It magnetizes directly to the head rig. The little bars that come from my mount over in front of my face to the phone. Turns out there's metal inside it. And so the DJI mic is literally just clipped onto it through the magnet. So that's incredible. That means I can get the best quality out of it because it's directly in front of my face and off to the side a little bit. So it's comparable quality to when I was sitting at my desk. It does sound a little different. There's nothing I can really do about that. I can't make them sound exactly the same. But I think it is probably the best quality that I can get moving around like this and not being able to stay in one location, because I got ADHD. I got to move around. I got to keep moving and pacing unless I'm sitting down. So, and then of course I got a little cooling mount here on my phone to just kind of keep it cool. Everything plugs into a battery pack, which is clipped onto the chest, literally using command strips onto a clip that is 3D printed to go over my chest slime tracker. And that's pretty much my whole setup. Oh, I do have headphones for when I'm sitting on my desk, but I do have some wireless Bluetooth earbuds just to kind of hear my music and any TTS or alerts that come up on the screen. Because I did not want, my headphones are wired, and so I did not want a single cable restricting my movement, not one. So if I wanted to, I could go across my apartment, but I don't really feel like it. So that is pretty much my entire setup. That is pretty much everything here that we got going. The new outfit, the new hairstyle, the new tracking, which again, sorry it's a little buggy right now. At least it's still tracking me. At least it hasn't just given up. It's just lagging for whatever reason. And then of course the new environment, which you can actually see my logo there in the back. Thank you, Cher. That is perfect timing. That is perfect placement, actually. Oh my God, I couldn't have done that better on purpose if I tried to get it there. That is incredible. What branding. But yeah, this has been a long time in the making. The hairstyle probably took the longest. I've been working on this for basically 6 months. The concept art started 6 months ago. I probably started modeling 3-4 months ago. But the hairstyle is what took the longest, just because I was trying to match a hairstyle that was difficult to do without actual hair. But I think it worked out great. And of course, the physics are amazing, immaculate. So I think this has been good. Is there anything else y'all want to see? Is there anything else here? I don't know. I did a debut kind of, a while back for the 1.0 model. Oh, which actually, let me go ahead and reset my position here because I've drifted forward. So let me go ahead and I'm going to actually put on the 1.0 model so I can show the difference here. So for those of you who haven't seen the model, this is the 1.0. As you can see, there's a little bit of tracking issues. This thing was not made for full body. So the proportions are a little off. Like my arms are not this long. And you can see the face is a little bit more angular. The shoulder tracking, not as great. Functionally, it still works pretty well. With having a job as well, I think that's really impressive for that amount of time. That is true. That is true. That makes me feel better. Thank you. Thank you, Vamp. I do have a full-time job, and between that job, streaming, editing my own videos, and also trying to coordinate with a bunch of people that I commissioned, this has been a lot. This has been a lot and a long time coming. So, but I probably finished the model, I think about 2 months ago, and I've just been bug fixing and testing and doing all this kind of stuff since then. And then of course commissioning the artists. So, but yeah, as you can see, there's some jank with this one. It was not made for full body at all. Although I'm noticing now it's not like jerking me around. Is it fixed? It's fixed! I'm no longer bouncing around. It's accurate again. Yippee! Yippee! It's fixed! I don't know why reloading the model worked. I don't know. I don't know why that fixed the slime issue, to be honest. It really shouldn't have. It really shouldn't have. But yeah, that's basically the improvement that was made. The face is a little bit better shaped. The body's better proportioned, because when you're doing full body like this, the closer it is to your real life proportions, the more accurate it's going to be. And this is pretty close to my real life proportions, minus the big head. My head's not this big. This is anime cartoon styled, you know, sized head here. So, but yeah, this, as far as arm length, leg length, hand size, this is closer to reality, so that it's at least a little bit more accurate. Like the finger length. Like, here, let me go ahead and show you. The finger length. Fingers got a lot shorter and stubbier compared to the old model, just because I got short little stubby fingers, but big palms. I used to joke that I got tiny little Trump hands, but no, his hands are actually smaller. Mine just have really big palms. What? You mean you're not a tree? No. No way. I can't believe it. I can't believe it's not a tree. I can't believe it's not butter. Ridiculous. I have been lied to. There's no way. It's not real. Mom, they lied to me. They said they were a tree and now they're lying. They said they're not. No, I actually have a real life. I actually am human. I do go to work. I go outside, you know. I don't think the military would hire a tree. You know, I feel like being a tree would bar me from enlistment. But yeah, this has been a long time coming. And I still have some stuff to work out, like I said, not only the model tracking issues here. I don't know why that's going on. I've also got to figure out the way to showcase your own cards. I don't know why it's not letting me set that up. And my trackers gave up there for a second, but we're back. So I do have some issues to figure out, but I think it's finally time I showcased it all, because I can only do test streams or test recordings and stuff like that for so long. I can only do it for so long until eventually I just got to kind of suck it up and do it. So I'm going to go ahead and sit down though. It has been a long day. Actually, you know what? Before I do that, I promised y'all I'm going to turn off mocap mode. And what that means is basically it's going to stop tracking like me walking across the floor. So my root position is going to remain locked no matter where I walk. I promised. Great camouflage though. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I have natural built-in camouflage. Which actually reminds me of that one Tumblr. I think I've said this before. There was a Tumblr post a while back about a D&D session where a druid camouflaged into a tree to hide, or shapeshifted into a tree to hide from guards. And when the guards were like, has this tree always been here? The druid said, as the tree, of course I have always been here. And they persuaded the guards with a high charisma check, and the guards were like, well, I guess the tree would know better than us, I suppose. I feel like that's my camouflage. But I promised, at my own peril, I promised a couple people, namely Miyake Painter, that I would do a cartwheel. Now, before I get into this, understand, my ceiling fan is right here. You see where my hand is? It's right here. So I cannot do a fully extended cartwheel, otherwise I might hit it. My couch is right here, and I can only walk a few steps this way. Actually, you know what? I'll turn on mocap mode. We'll see how jank this gets. We'll see how jank this gets. Okay? But let me reset my position here so I'm more centered. I promised her that I would do a cartwheel. So here's the thing. One, don't make fun of me because I am 30. I have not done a cartwheel in 15 years, okay? I did a couple when I was testing this thing. I did some dance moves, which like I can do shuffles, okay? I can do some dance moves, but you can see it gets a little jank when both my feet leave the floor. So don't make fun of me if it looks a little goofy. I also cannot fully extend my legs, otherwise I'll hit my ceiling fan, and that'll be bad for everybody. So I'm gonna do this once, and hope that my ankles don't shatter on contact from me being old. All right. I'm also gonna tighten my head strap a lot so that it doesn't go flying. Oh, God, I'm nervous. I'm doing this on camera for the first time. On recording, my God. How do I wanna do this? Do I wanna go that way? Or do I wanna go this? I think I'll go this way. Okay. Oh, I just realized I'm also doing this with the gloves on for the first time. Hope that's not a problem. They've got grippy little pads on them. Surely. Yeah, it should be fine. Okay. Everybody ready? My first cartwheel. Just for May Rocky. I don't know if she's here. Just for you. Cartwheel. Oh! I don't even know how that looked. I hope it looked good. I hope that looked good. Oh my God. I actually felt pretty good. I didn't feel like I broke anything. I don't know how that looked. We're gonna do one more. We're gonna do one more. Believe it or not, my ankles did not shatter. But now my wrist hurts. So I think that's it for me. I don't know. I do not want to hurt myself too badly. Reset my positions here. Now I'm gonna sit down. Now I'm gonna sit. That was fun. Surely nothing bad will come from that the next morning. I do find that sometimes happens. I will do something like I'll do some running or I'll do a workout of some kind and I'll come home, I'll drink some water and I'm like, yeah, that feels great. And then I wake up the next morning now after hitting 30 and I just go, I feel like I'm dying. I don't like that. Can we go back to my 20s? Like, I didn't feel like I would start falling apart that quickly. I keep myself active. I didn't think I'd start falling apart like that. But I'm also just exaggerating. Old? Nate, come on. The first thing you do when you show up is call me old? Also, everybody, welcome in Nate Chromancer. Woohoo! Welcome in, Nate. Let me go ahead and give you a shout out. Nate is a fellow little goober, goofy little goober. Nate is a fellow VTuber and someone I've collabed with on multiple occasions. We collab every Sunday and Wednesday. So you should 100% check out their stream tomorrow, assuming Nate's joining us. Are you joining us for Night's End? Are we still doing that tomorrow? But it looks like Nate was just playing Mecha Chameleon. Unless that was yesterday's stream. I don't know if you were streaming today. I've been at work today, this morning. Oh, it does say you were streaming it today. Yeah, 8 hours ago. Okay. So yes, you were streaming. Gotcha. But welcome in, Nate. Welcome in. How you doing? How's your weekend going so far? Welcome to my 2.0 model debut and my full body tracking. Excuse me while I rest and I sit down. We've had some jank, but ultimately I think we're gonna survive. this is going to be the usual just chatting setup. So you can kind of see my idle poses and animations here in real life are kind of sassy. That's kind of what the full body tracking gives away, really, is just how much I like stand and sit with sass. Like, it doesn't matter where I am, I act like I pay rent. I act like I own the place. Your new model's looking so good. Thank you. It's been a long time in the works. But let's not forget, since you're here, let me put up the credit screen one more time for everybody who missed it here. This is everybody that helped me out with the stuff that I've been using today. What tracking are you using? So, the body trackers, I have 15 Slime VR trackers across my body. One on each foot, one on each ankle, one on each thigh, one on my hips, which I wear in the back here, over my butt. And then, of course, I got my chest tracker. I've got elbow trackers, wrist trackers, hand trackers, and a head tracker. And then I got my gloves. The gloves are Stretch Sense Reality XR game gloves. I know that's a mouthful, but it's basically Stretch Sense's latest glove because they discontinued their old one. This is meant to be a competitor to Diver X and UDCap. It's about on par with them right now, but the difference is this one is still in development, so it's gonna get better. Whereas Diver X and UDCap are pretty much done. They're pretty much happy with where they're at. So that's the big difference there. But yeah, I do have a battery pack on my chest, a big old rechargeable battery pack that's powering my phone, keeping it fully charged, and then also powering my my cooling unit here on my phone, keeping it from overheating. And then I've got a DJI Mic Mini magnetized to my DIY head rig, which if you haven't seen the video, you should absolutely check it out. I wanted a Rococo head rig because I've worn it in college for mocap, but that thing's $300. It's $295. So I said, I'm not paying that. So I made my own for $30. And that's what I'm wearing right now. And that's basically the whole setup. That's the whole setup here. I will expand this over time. I do want to slap a tracker on this chair that I'm now sitting in. I have a tablet, an old Amazon Fire tablet that I want to hold and track so that I can read chat on the go without having to come back to my computer. That's going to be a trackable prop. And anytime I get sponsorships, I want to be able to put like actual products on the table back here to kind of show off, you know, what am I being sponsored by, who's sponsoring me, that kind of deal. So yeah, I put some thought into this and it's going to grow over time. That was kind of the problem with my initial setup, is like I kind of restricted myself to just kind of being in a static environment. This is a dynamic environment. It can grow with me, as well as the tracking. It is now made for full body tracking. I do have some minor bug fixes, like with this arm stuff here, that I could have sworn I fixed. You can see with the weird shoulder tracking thing going on. I don't know how that's happening. I thought I fixed that. But yeah, it will grow with me. It will grow with me. As for how often I can make these new models, I don't know. Being that I have a full-time job and I'm editing my own videos and I'm making my own thumbnails, it's a lot already to be able to dedicate time to modeling this stuff. So I can't promise that I'm going to come out with new models regularly. But I'd like to. I think maybe once or twice a year is how often I'll have a new model, just because of how long it takes me to get this stuff together. And it really depends on how inspired I am. Really depends on how inspired I am. But yeah, I'm really happy with how this turned out. I really am. Looks like we got an ad break coming up. So I'm just going to sit here and chat for a bit. I'm really happy with how this turned out. It's been a long time in the making. More water. I don't know if you, I guess Nate's probably in an ad right now. But yeah, I don't know how many of you were here last year around this time when I hit affiliate. Oh, you're here. Okay. It said an ad break started, so I don't know who got caught by the ad. But for those of you who were here around this time last year, I was still using the fire hair model, and I had yet to decide who I wanted to be when I grow up. So this has been a unique experience, getting this model, getting it done, and then coming back 6 months ago and saying, I think I'm ready. I think I know a bit more about how I want to do this. I think I'm starting to grow my art style. I need to update my model. I think I need to do it. It's been a long time coming. And it finally feels like this stream is mine. I've been using pre-made assets. I've been using pre-made alerts, pre-made everything. And now I finally have custom alerts, custom emotes, a custom background, which I had a custom background before. Like everything's mine. Everything is mine, finally. I'm starting to finally feel like this stream belongs to me. Oh, that was a misclick. Sorry, I did not mean to take you to my starting soon screen. My bad. I discovered you really recently. I don't think it was that recently, was it? I feel like you were here at the start of the year, at the very least. Let me see. April, I think. Yeah, it says you were following me since April, so I guess that's true. I guess that's true. But that was still a while ago at this point. Like, my God. I mean, let's think about that for a second. It's already July. It's been a few months. It's been a few months now. It's been 3 months since you got here. So I think you can say you've been here for a while now. I've only been streaming for about 1.5 years now. I started streaming realistically in January of last year. I stopped streaming from July to August, or no, October. End of July to the start of October, I stopped streaming because my PC broke. So yeah, I've been streaming in total about 1 year. Counting that break, or not counting the break, it's been about 1 year. So I finally starting to feel like this stream is mine. This channel, this place, it's home. And it's good to feel like that. Now I feel like crying. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. Let's not cry. But I think that's going to be it for today. I am already tired. It's been a long day from work, and I kind of just wanted to show all this off. And I guess I can go ahead. And I didn't really have a game planned for today. Not for today. I just kind of want to get some rest because unfortunately, I have to go back to work again tomorrow for a short little trip. So I think I'm going to call it here. This has been incredible, y'all. And by the way, just to remind y'all of all the new features, you've got new interactive channel points. If you want to use them, you can throw more stuff at me. You can put sticky notes on me. You can set me on fire. You can use my own TTS against me. Let's see, what else? You can open card packs. There's all kinds of stuff going on here. And of course, other things will be shown as we go over time, like the alerts. I will do a Twitter post about the alerts to showcase all of them, but how they're demonstrated on stream will be kind of something you see as we go. Let's see. I was going to just say that audio sounds a bit off to me. It is a different microphone. It is going to sound a little different. Like I can switch over to the desk microphone here. Give me 1 second. So this is the desk microphone. This is what you're probably used to hearing, right? Although I'm a bit further away so I don't smack my headset into it because, I mean, you can kind of hear me smack it in. It doesn't take much. This thing's pretty bulky. But when I'm up and moving around, it's going to be this mic. Over time, I will listen to my recording and try to get them as close together as possible because I do want them to sound similar. But yeah, that's the reason they sound different. So now we're back to the headset mic. It's just the nature of the fact that one's a lavalier mic and the other is a full desktop dynamic mic. They have different capsules, they record different frequencies, so they're gonna sound a little different. But over time, I'm gonna start to adjust them so that they sound a bit closer together. I've already done a little bit of that, but over time it'll get better. But we got some folks here and I kind of want to end this off on a good note. So what do you say we go ahead and find somebody to raid? Who do we know that's streaming tonight? Who do we know that's streaming? Let's see, let's see, let's see. Dawn! Dawn is currently playing Repo. She is a friend of the stream. We are talking about potentially doing a horror collab. So we're gonna go ahead and spook her a little bit. She is playing Repo with a couple other VTubers. So let's go ahead and go in and say hi. Let her know her favorite TreeTuber is here to show her some love. And also, she says, distract me from the World Cup. So I have not been paying too close attention to the World Cup, but I'm guessing she is in the UK. So I'm guessing England lost. Let's actually find out. England World Cup. Oh no, they won. They won against Norway. That's interesting. I would have figured Norway would have beat them 2-1, not the other way around. Okay. Never mind. I guess they just won 14 minutes ago or 2 hours ago. I don't know. There's a bunch of news articles about it. So it happened a little bit ago. But let's go ahead and raid her. Let her know that we've got lots of love to give. So see you next time. Thank you, Vamp. Thank you, Necromancer. Thank you, Statue. And thank you to everybody who came in. Don't worry, lurkers. I see you. I see y'all. Thank you all so much. Let's go ahead and raid Dawn and show her lots of love. And don't worry, this will be back on Monday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, where we will be playing some Bendy and the Lone Wolf. We finished Bendy and the Dark Revival, so now we're on the Lone Wolf. So if you are interested in seeing me play a little bit of a different Bendy type game, be sure to check me out. Otherwise, we are back to our normally scheduled content next week. So that means videos, that means streams, that means everything's going back to normal. So yeah, streams on Saturday are not going to continue. They're not going to keep being a regular thing. As much as I would like to use my weekends for editing. First time watching an indie VTuber model debut. It is incredible. Thank you. I don't know what it's supposed to look like. You know, I haven't watched too many actual debuts that are not from corpos or former corpos. So this has been a unique experience for me. But that's all I got for y'all. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm going to drop y'all over at Dawn's. We're going to watch some Repo while I take off the GIMP suit. I'm lovingly calling it the GIMP suit because of just how many straps it is. So I will see y'all Monday. And Nate, I will see you tomorrow for our Night's End collab. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.